For many WWE wrestlers' wives, the death of their husbands marks the beginning of a long and often challenging journey. While one not only preserved her husband's legacy, but also forged her own path in WWE, another fought tirelessly for justice following her Hall of Fame husband's tragic death.
Well, I did go toe-to-toe twice with Vince McMahon, Linda McMahon, and their company.
Here's a look at the lives of WWE wrestlers' wives after their husbands' untimely deaths. Owen Hart. Let's start with the youngest son of Stu Hart, the legendary promoter of Stampede Wrestling. Owen Hart, who was one of the best wrestlers of his day. However, he met his demise at this same event he excelled at. On May 23, 1999, during a live pay-per-view event, Owen was portraying his superhero alter ego, the Blue Blazer, dressed in his goofy garb. What was intended to be a comic relief became awry when the shackles on Owen's harness became released while suspended from the rafters, sending him crashing to the canvas in front of 16,000 fans and a pay-per-view audience of millions. The fall led to the torn of his aorta, and he breathed his last while being taken to the hospital. He was 34 years old. To make matters worse, the WWE's boss, Vince McMahon, decided not to stop the show. The tragic death of Owen left his family devastated, especially his wife Martha. At first, she wasn't ready to believe that her husband was no more. No one could have. But she came to terms soon after and accepted the ugly reality, but not without some fights. Martha believed that there was negligence involved in the death of Owen, and she held WWF and its owner, McMahon, responsible. She decided to take on both, not in the wrestling ring but in the courtroom. But her fight wasn't easy, given McMahon's powerful influence. Martha's legal team eventually advised her that continuing the battle would be near impossible, given the overwhelming resources at McMahon's disposal. Reluctantly, she agreed to an out-of-court settlement of $18 million, which didn't bring her peace. But over time, Martha realized she could channel her pain into something meaningful, something that would keep Owen's legacy alive. In his memory, she founded the Owen Hart Foundation, a charitable organization dedicated to helping underprivileged individuals. In 2002, Martha chronicled Owen's life and legacy in her biography, Broken Hearts: The Life and Death of Owen Hart. While Owen Hart's widow fought a highly publicized battle for justice over his tragic death, the story of another wrestler's wife reveals a different kind of hardship following her husband's untimely passing. Umaga. Edward Umaga Fatu was known for his explosive in-ring style and menacing Samoan character, which helped in defeating top names, including CM Punk, Jeff Hardy, and John Cena. Tragically, his life was cut short on December 9, 2009, when he passed away at just 36 years old. At first, he was found unresponsive by his wife after suffering a heart attack. Paramedics arrived and worked tirelessly to save him, managing to restart his heart. However, the relief was short-lived. A second heart attack struck, making things worse, and Umaga was pronounced dead. This devastating outcome was unfortunately tied to the struggles that had plagued him for years and contributed to the abrupt end of his WWE career: substance abuse. 3 different medications were found in his system at the time: hydrocodone, a painkiller, carisoprodol, a muscle relaxer, and diazepam, an anxiety medication. The autopsy also disclosed that he suffered from hypertensive cardiovascular disease, a form of heart disease, and his liver had failed. Years of drug abuse and the strain of these health issues had taken a toll on his body, causing it to falter at such a young age. His untimely death shocked fans and left his family reeling. In the aftermath of his passing, Umaga's wife, LT Fatu, faced immense challenges. Losing her husband not only meant an emotional void, but also significant financial difficulties. With limited external support, LT struggled to provide for their family. Though the wrestling industry is known for its camaraderie, help was sparse. However, a few wrestlers stepped up to lend a hand. One of them is Chris Jericho, who extended financial support to LT during her most difficult times. In a YouTube short video posted on their son Zilla Fatu's YouTube channel, LT Fatu recalled Jericho issuing her a check for $5,000 following the tragic passing of Umaga.
You know who gave me money when your dad died?
Who?
Chris Jericho. He wrote a check.
Moving on to another wrestler whose wife ventured into WWE after his death: Eddie Guerrero. During his days, Eddie Guerrero was one of the biggest wrestlers in WWE, and even after his death, he's still popular with fans, who often chant his name, and WWE mentions him in the storylines. On Sunday, November 13, 2005, the WWE was in Minneapolis for an event, but tragedy struck that morning. Eddie Guerrero failed to respond to a scheduled wake-up call at his hotel. Concerned, his cousin Chavo Guerrero, accompanied by hotel security, went to check on him. Upon entering the room, Chavo found Eddie unconscious on the bathroom floor. floor, barely clinging to life. Despite their efforts, Eddie passed away in Chavo's arms at the young age of 38. The autopsy results for Eddie Guerrero revealed that his sudden passing was caused by acute heart failure brought on by atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease. This condition was linked to his past steroid use, which had taken a toll on his health. In response, WWE implemented its wellness policy in February 2006, a program designed to promote the health and well-being of its talent. After Eddie's passing, his wife, Vickie Guerrero, joined WWE in 2007, stepping into the spotlight as an assistant to SmackDown general manager Teddy Long. The couple shared a long history, having first met at a nightclub after mutual friends set them up on a blind date. They tied the knot in April 1990, and their first child, Shaul, was born later that year. Vickie quickly became a key figure in WWE, later taking on the role of general manager for both SmackDown and Raw. Known for her devious tactics and signature catchphrase, "Excuse me," she became a prominent villain in WWE storylines. Vickie was also a member of the professional wrestling stable La Familia, which debuted on November 18, 2007. One of her most notable storylines involved her on-screen relationship with Edge, where she used her position of power to grant him multiple opportunities for the World Heavyweight Championship. Vickie later transitioned to All Elite Wrestling, AEW, continuing her career as a manager. Eddie's daughter, Shad Guerrero, also briefly ventured into the wrestling world, performing under the name Raquel Diaz in WWE's developmental system. Despite showing promise, Shad decided to step away from the ring to focus on other passions. Today, Vickie works as an influencer and TV personality. Much like Vickie Guerrero, the Ultimate Warrior's wife also became a part of WWE after her husband's death. The Ultimate Warrior. The Ultimate Warrior was a professional wrestling champion and WWE Hall of Famer who thrilled fans with his immense strength and high-energy performances. His battles with legends like Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage are etched into wrestling history. Unfortunately, just days after being inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame and making an emotional appearance on Monday Night Raw in April 2014, Warrior, whose real name was James Bryan Hellwig, passed away suddenly at 54. He collapsed outside his hotel in Scottsdale, Arizona, while walking with his wife Dana, and was later pronounced dead. The cause of death was a heart attack attributed to cardiovascular disease. Following his death, Dana Warrior dedicated herself to preserving her husband's legacy. She became a key figure in WWE, working as a brand ambassador and actively participating in the company's charitable endeavors. Her work extended to WWE's Be a Star anti-bullying campaign and Connor's Cure, supporting pediatric cancer research. Each year at the Hall of Fame, Dana presents the Warrior Award, created to honor individuals who demonstrate exceptional strength, courage, and perseverance in the face of adversity, values her husband championed throughout his life. Dana's contributions to WWE have gone beyond honoring Warrior's legacy. Recently, she joined WWE's creative team. Luke Harper's wife also found a way to thrive after her husband's sudden death. Luke Harper. John Huber, better known to wrestling fans as Luke Harper in WWE and later Brody Lee in All Elite Wrestling, AEW, was a beloved figure in professional wrestling. Known for his commanding presence and remarkable versatility, Huber had a career that spanned independent circuits, WWE, and finally AEW, where he reached new heights as the leader of the Dark Order. During his time with WWE, he battled other wrestling stars, including The Shield, Kane, Daniel Bryan, John Cena, and the USOs, using a combination of aggressive offense and demented mind games. But his life was cut short in October 2020 when he began experiencing unexpected shortness of breath and a troubling sense of fatigue. He was eventually airlifted to the hospital, where family and close friends watched his condition progressively deteriorate. On December 26, 2020, Luke Harper succumbed to a rare and aggressive lung condition unrelated to COVID-19 at the age of 41. Following his death, Amanda Huber, his wife, whom he met at a local wrestling community, became involved with the AEW, the promotion where John was with before his death. She joined the AEW community outreach team, helping to organize charitable initiatives and fan engagement programs. In 2023, she was promoted to a position in the production side of the AEW. Their son, Brody Lee Jr., has made several appearances on AEW programming. In honor of his father's legacy, AEW extended a special gesture by signing him to a contract that will officially activate on his 18th birthday. Amanda also played a significant role in honoring her husband's memory within AEW. The company paid tribute to Huber with a special episode of AEW Dynamite titled The Brody Lee Celebration of Life, featuring heartfelt matches and tributes from his colleagues. Both Amanda and their two sons, Brody Jr. and Nolan, were at the center of the event. This next wrestler's wife chose a path far from the spotlight. Crash Holly. Crash Holly, born Michael Lockwood, debuted in WWE, then WWF, in 1999 and was introduced as the cousin of Bob Holly. Together, they formed a tag team known as the Holly Cousins. But Crash is best known for his time as WWE Hardcore Champion when he captured the title for the first time in February 2000 after defeating Test. From there, he became synonymous with the 24/7 rule, a stipulation that allowed the Hardcore Championship to be defended anytime at any place. This rule led to some of the most entertaining and chaotic moments in WWE history, as Crash defended the title in unconventional locations such as a laundromat, an airport, and even a children's play area in a ball pit. He officially held the Hardcore Championship an astounding 22 times, becoming one of the division's most successful competitors. In addition to his hardcore antics, Crash also competed in the tag team division, forming alliances with various superstars, including Molly Holly, who was introduced as his cousin. He also briefly competed in the light heavyweight division, where he once claimed the championship. Crash left WWE in 2003 and continued wrestling on the independent circuit until his untimely passing in 2003 at the age of 32. His death was ruled a suicide, as it was later discovered that he choked on his vomit after consuming a combination of muscle relaxer pills and alcohol. Later, it was revealed that Crash was in the middle of a divorce from his wife, Christina Lockwood, at the time of his passing, as the two had separated in July of that year. Following Crash's death, Christina largely stepped away from the public eye. Though their relationship had ended before his passing, she remained profoundly affected by the tragedy. In contrast, Brian Pillman's widow was thrust into the spotlight after his passing. Brian Pillman. Brian Pillman was one of the most fascinating and controversial wrestlers of his generation, a great in-ring talent. Throughout his career, he was a part of two of the biggest stables of his time, having stints in both the Four Horsemen and the Hart Foundation. But for every triumph in Pillman's life, there was also a tragedy. At the time of his death on October 5, 1997, Pillman was amid a career resurgence following an accident that destroyed his ankle and forced his departure from WCW to the WWF. However, things took a tragic turn when Pillman did not arrive at the building on time for a PPV match between him and Goldust. Concerns grew, and Brian was found dead in his hotel room from a massive heart attack. He was only 35 years old. In the aftermath of Brian Pillman's death, WWE Chairman Vince McMahon interviewed Pillman's widow, Melanie Pillman, on live television during the November 1997 episode of Monday Night Raw. The segment was part of WWE's attempt to capitalize on the real-life tragedy, with McMahon interviewing Melanie about her feelings on Brian's passing. The interview, however, was widely criticized for its insensitivity, with many fans and critics believing that the segment exploited Melanie's grief for entertainment purposes rather than offering respectful tribute to Pillman. The awkward and uncomfortable interview quickly became one of the most controversial moments in wrestling history. In the years following Brian's death, Melanie Pillman faced her battles, including issues with drug addiction, which contributed to the deterioration of her personal and family life. Melanie's relationship with her children, especially her son Flynn, became strained as the years passed. The pressures of raising two children as a single mother, coupled with her struggles with substance abuse, made it difficult for her to maintain stability. On June 1, 2022, Melanie Pillman passed away at the age of 56. Her death was reportedly due to complications related to drug addiction. Moving on to the next wrestler whose widow decided to pursue justice over his death. Shad Gaspard. Shad Gaspard, a former WWE superstar, was a real-life hero both in and out of the wrestling ring. His life was cut short in May 2020 when he died while saving his son from drowning at Venice Beach, California. On May 17, 2020, Shad and his 10-year-old son Arya were caught in a powerful rip current while swimming at Venice Beach. Lifeguards rushed to the scene, and Shad instructed them to save his son first. The lifeguards successfully rescued Arya, but Shad was pulled under by the strong current and went missing. His body was found washed ashore 3 days later, on May 20th, 2020. 7 months later, Shad's wife, Ciliana Gaspard, filed a lawsuit against the state of California, Los Angeles, and other entities, alleging negligence in maintaining safe public property. She claimed that warning signs about hazardous conditions were inadequate and that the lifeguards lacked proper equipment and training to handle the dangerous rip currents present that day. The lawsuit also highlighted the absence of emergency resources, such as personal watercraft or a rescue boat, which could have made made a difference in the tragic outcome. Shad Gaspard was best known for his time in WWE as part of the tag team Crime Time, alongside his partner JTG. The duo entertained fans with their charismatic personalities and comedic segments. In addition to his wrestling career, Shad was an actor, stuntman, and screenwriter. He appeared in films like Think Like a Man 2 and Birds of Prey, and he co-wrote the graphic novel Assassin and Son. Shad's heroic actions have immortalized him as more than just a wrestling star. He's remembered as a true hero. WWE posthumously honored him with the Warrior Award at the 2022 Hall of Fame ceremony, recognizing his bravery and sacrifice. Meanwhile, Davey Boy Smith's wife decided to share some of the secrets of her husband's career after his death. Davey Boy Smith. Known to fans worldwide as the British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith was one of professional wrestling's most beloved figures. Whether as a tag team specialist with the Dynamite Kid or as a singles star with unforgettable matches like his 1992 SummerSlam Classic against Bret Hart, Smith's athleticism made him a standout performer in WWE. But everything came to an end for him when he passed away on May 18, 2002, at the age of 39. Davey Boy Smith's sudden death shocked the wrestling world. At the time, he was on vacation in British Columbia, Canada. The official cause of death was a heart attack, which was believed to be linked to years of physical strain, drug use, and health issues stemming from his wrestling career. Smith had battled addiction and undergone numerous surgeries throughout his life, which took a toll on his body. Following his death, Davey Boy Smith's former wife, Diana Hart, the daughter of Stu Hart and sister to Bret Hart, sought to honor him while sharing her family's incredible story. She wrote a book titled Under the Mat: Inside Wrestling's Greatest Family. Published in 2001, the book offered an insider's view of the Hart wrestling family, to which Diana belongs. The book was controversial, as it revealed deeply personal details about the Hart family and their relationships. Some family members criticized the book for airing private matters. During an interview with Wrestling NC in 2015, Diana Hart also explained the reasons behind the highly publicized feud between her former husband and Dynamite Kid. According to her, one of the key moments was Davey's decision to return to then WWF, while Dynamite Kid refused. At the time, Davey was under significant financial pressure and was close to losing his home, whereas Dynamite wasn't in the same situation. Moving on to another wrestler whose wife was left to carry on his legacy: Dusty Rhodes. Known as the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes became one of America's best-known stars inside the ring, famous for his Texan charisma, his loquacious interviews, his in-ring antics, and his feuds with rivals Ric Flair, superstar Billy Graham, and Tully Blanchard. In his later years, Dusty Rhodes struggled with kidney disease. On June 10, 2015, paramedics were called to his home in Orlando, Florida, after reports that he had fallen. He was rushed to a nearby hospital, but tragically, Dusty passed away the following day at the age of 69 due to complications from kidney failure. Dusty Rhodes was a proud father of 2 sons, who also became well known in the wrestling industry: Cody Rhodes, known as American Nightmare by fans, and Dustin Rhodes, formerly known as Goldust in WWE. Dusty had always been supportive of their careers, guiding them as they navigated the often difficult world of professional wrestling. After Dusty's death, his wife, Michelle Rubio, remained a pillar of support for her sons, especially Cody, who had emerged as one of the most successful and influential wrestlers of his generation. Michelle was deeply involved in maintaining her family's legacy, often supporting Cody's career in AEW, All Elite Wrestling, where he became a central figure in the promotion. Once at AEW Full Gear in 2019, Michelle Rubio took her support to a whole new level when she stepped in to stitch Cody up after his brutal match. Similarly, Roddy Piper's wife had to come to terms with the suddenness of his death in 2015. Roddy Piper. Superstar wrestler Roddy Piper died suddenly and unexpectedly on July 31, 2015, at the age of 61, passing away in his sleep. After years of suffering from hypertension, his death was caused by a blood clot that led to a heart attack. His relatively young age left fans and colleagues heartbroken, and when the news broke at a professional wrestling convention in North Carolina, MCs honored him with a 10-bell salute, followed by heartfelt memories of the iconic performer. Roddy Piper's larger-than-life personality defined his legendary career, where he often portrayed the villain in the WWF throughout the 1980s, feuding with the likes of the legendary Hulk Hogan. But years after his shocking demise, Piper's legacy as the ultimate wrestling villain lives on. One of the individuals behind this is his wife, Kitty Toombs, who continues to honor her husband's legacy while also protecting their family's privacy. Married in 1982, the couple remained together until Roddy died in 2015. Kitty was Roddy's rock throughout his celebrated wrestling career, offering unwavering support during his rise to stardom. While Roddy was busy with his wrestling career, Kitty prioritized the stability and well-being of the family. Following her husband's demise, Kitty shifted her focus to voluntary work in Chico, California. She has played a significant role in keeping Roddy's memory alive for his fans and loved ones. She has participated in numerous events and projects dedicated to honoring Roddy's contributions to professional wrestling and entertainment. In addition to preserving her husband's memory, Kitty also took on the responsibility of raising their 4 children. Their daughter, Ariel Till Toombs, has followed in Roddy's footsteps, forging her path as a professional wrestler in AEW. Similarly, their son, Coltan Baird Toombs, is a former amateur MMA fighter who has appeared in various wrestling-related productions, including WCW Monday Nitro, 1995, Biography, WWE Legends, 2021, and WCW Starrcade, 1996. Let's move on to the next one, whose wife found herself handling both personal grief and public responsibility. Big Boss Man. Ray Traylor, known to wrestling fans as the Big Boss Man, climbed the ranks from enhancement talent to one of the top stars in wrestling, making his mark in both the NWA and WWE. His journey was defined by hard work and dedication, earning him a lasting place in wrestling history. However, while his career soared to incredible heights, his personal life was marked by profound tragedy. On September 22, 2004, Ray Traylor suffered a massive heart attack at his home in Dallas, Georgia, around 9 a.m. Local authorities were called to his house later that evening, but efforts to revive him were unsuccessful. He was just 41 years old. Traylor's death came shortly after another personal blow. His mother had passed away barely a month earlier. He left behind his wife, Angela, his childhood sweetheart, and their 2 daughters, Lacey and Megan. In 2016, Angela, along with their daughters, attended the WWE Hall of Fame ceremony, where Big Boss Man was posthumously inducted, a moment that recognized his contributions to the wrestling world. During the event, Angela and one of their daughters spoke fondly of her husband, emphasizing his love for his family and his passion for wrestling.
Thank you guys so much. He would be so honored, and I just can't even. I wish he was here so much. Thank you.
He enjoyed being funny. He enjoyed making people feel good. He loved kids. He did so much for our community.
Like Angela, Viscera's wife also faced the heart-wrenching loss of her partner in 2014, but her approach to dealing with it was anything but kind towards WWE. Viscera. Nelson Frazier Jr., known to wrestling fans by his ring names Mabel, Viscera, and Big Daddy Feeve, had a unique WWE career spanning the 1990s and 2000s. While not the most accomplished WWE superstar, he stood out as one of the most physically intimidating wrestlers in the company. His WWE tenure included 3 separate runs over 15 years, ending in August 2008 when he was released from the company. Despite this, Frazier continued wrestling worldwide for many years. On February 18, 2014, Viscera passed away from a heart attack, just 4 days shy of his 44th birthday. He had been battling type 2 diabetes and high blood pressure. While he managed to lose 100 pounds and reduce his blood pressure to a healthy level, it was ultimately too late for the former King of the Ring winner. Following Viscera's death, his widow, Cassandra Frasier, filed a wrongful death lawsuit against WWE in 2015. The suit alleged that WWE was negligent in failing to protect Frazier and other wrestlers from the long-term effects of repeated head injuries sustained during their careers. Cassandra claimed that the physical toll of wrestling had contributed to her husband's health issues and ultimately his untimely death. Cassandra also took to Facebook to express her frustration in a lengthy rant directed at Vince McMahon and WWE. She criticized the company for allegedly failing to offer condolences after her husband's passing and claimed she would reveal the secrets of the WWE. Of all the wrestlers on the list, Mr. Wonderful spent significant time with his family before his passing, which probably shaped the way his wife coped with his death. Paul Orndorff. Paul Orndorff, the WWE Hall of Famer who fought in the first ever WrestleMania, was part of one of the most pivotal moments in pro wrestling history, teaming with Roddy Piper in a tag team against Hulk Hogan and actor Mr. T. His feud with Hulk Hogan was among the most financially successful live events in WWE history. When Orndorff's in-ring days came to an end, he became a trainer for WCW Power Plant, molding a generation of promising stars like Goldberg, Mark Jindrak, and Stacy Keibler. In 2005, he was inducted into the WWE WWE Hall of Fame. Sadly, he passed away on July 12, 2021, at the age of 71. Orndorff's death was attributed to complications from dementia, a condition his family believed was linked to chronic traumatic encephalopathy, CTE, caused by the physical toll of his wrestling career. His death was announced on Instagram by his son, Travis Orndorff. After Orndorff's death, his wife, Amayu Smith, stepped forward to support him in getting a befitting burial. To help cover the expenses of the burial, she created a GoFundMe page. But Hercules' wife was among the list of wrestlers' wives who took issue with WWE over their husband's death. Hercules, Ray Fernandez. Born Ray Fernandez, Hercules was a professional wrestler who debuted in WWE in 1985, initially managed by Freddie Blassie and later by Slick. His strongman gimmick and impressive feats of strength made him a standout performer. He was involved in memorable storylines, including his feud with Billy Jack Haynes, centered around their Full Nelson Challenge. Hercules later aligned with Ted DiBiase's $1 Million Corporation and had a stint as a member of the tag team Power and Glory alongside Paul Roma. By 1999, at age 43, Hercules decided to hang up his boots. However, 5 years later, on March 6, 2004, Hercules passed away peacefully in his sleep from what was later revealed to be heart disease. He left behind a wife of 28 years and 7 kids. Following his death, Hercules' wife spoke out, expressing frustration and anger toward WWE. In an open letter, she accused Vince McMahon of perpetuating a system that exploits wrestlers and turns a blind eye to the rampant use of steroids within the industry. She also lambasted McMahon for publicly dismissing claims of a steroid problem within WWE, suggesting that periodic drug testing was a hollow gesture. According to Debbie, there is a reason why so many wrestlers have died young, and steroid abuse is a significant factor. Wrestlers, she claimed, often end their careers without health benefits, retirement plans, or financial security, left to fend for themselves after sacrificing their bodies and well-being for the sport. She accused McMahon of being the sole beneficiary of their labor, profiting off their blood, sweat, and tears, while leaving them with nothing. While the majority of wrestlers' wives struggled to maintain the legacy of their husbands, this next wrestler's wife embroiled his legacy in even more controversies. Chris Candido. Chris Candido was a talented professional wrestler remembered for his skill, charisma, and contributions to the industry during the 1990s. Competing in promotions such as WWE, ECW, WCW, and TNA, he gained acclaim for his performances, often alongside his real-life partner Tammy Sytch, also known as Sunny. Candido tragically passed away on April 28, 2005, at the young age of 33. His death came as a shock, as he had just wrestled in a match days earlier and appeared to be on the upswing in his career. The cause of death was a blood clot that resulted from complications following surgery to repair a leg injury he sustained during a match at TNA's Lockdown pay-per-view. The clot traveled to his lungs, leading to his sudden passing. Following Candido's death, Tammy Sytch, his longtime partner both in and out of the wrestling ring, faced numerous personal and legal challenges. Once celebrated as one of the most popular and influential female personalities in wrestling during the 1990s, Sytch's life took a darker turn in the years after Candido's passing. She struggled with substance abuse issues and faced multiple arrests for offenses, including DUI, probation violations, and other charges. Her repeated run-ins with the law tarnished her once illustrious reputation. In recent years, Sytch has been serving a 17-year jail term for DUI manslaughter after killing a 75-year-old man in a fatal accident. If you enjoyed this video, click on the card showing on your screen right now for more of it.